Person, President Museveni, in the wee hours of Wednesday, and the incumbents of 6 regional vice chairpersons all lost in the race of the second national vice chairperson female. The Speaker of Parliament beat incumbent Rebecca Alitwala Kadaga, and the national vice chairperson Eastern Show the incumbent Captain Mike Mukula, saw the incumbent Mike Mukula giving up before voting, and that is leaving it for his opponent Kelvin Echodu. And for National Vice Chairperson Western, Jonard Asimwe beat Minister of ICT Chris Bariomunsi with 4,044 votes, and that is representing 58.1%. And for Kampala, Salim Uhuru beat the incumbent Singh Katongole with 2,862, representing 62.2%. And the Minister for Microfinance, Haruna Kasolo Cheyune, beat the incumbent Godfrey Chiwanda Subi, and Loki John Baptist also won national vice chairperson for Karamoja to replace the dead former chairperson Simon Alepa, who passed away in an accident last year. Now, that is matters politics, but because it's a Friday, let's have a look at what we have on the entertainment scene. And actor Bruce Willis, if you remember, if you have watched movies such as G.I. Joe, Red 2, Live Free or Die Trying, Tears of the Sun, etc., etc., many movies to his name. He was diagnosed with aphasia in the year 2022. This brain disorder sent him to obvious retiring, and in the shortest period of time, about a year thereafter, he was diagnosed with frontotemporal dementia. And in a recent interview this week, his wife Emma Hemming Willis revealed that his brain is failing him and his language is going, and that he's now living in a second home for 24-hour dementia care. Sad story there when you see the people you've grown up watching on the entertainment scene having sometimes an end, but hopefully it's not the case. But welcome to the show. This is Good Morning Uganda, UBC TV, coming to you live from Nile Avenue. My name is Julie Nantaba Musisi. I am with Robert Chirabo Nyonyintano. Good morning, Robert. What have you been looking at? What has excited you this week?
This week has had a lot of excitement. Right. And there is a song that was running in my mind. You know, I'm this person who has a strong attachment with Church of Uganda. And in their hymns, there is a song, though I don't know the English version of it. Allow me briefly sing the Luganda version, and I doubt you, because this is more of Church of Uganda. Yesu byonna abimanyi chinsanyusa. Now that is a song I want to give to all the losers.
Oh, wow.
In the NRM elections. Console yourself that yes,
Robert, that is savage.
You know what is unique in this election?
That is savage.
That all the incumbents, apart from Ahaj Moses Chibungu and the party chairperson Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, never returned.
That's a statement, though.
Which other way to comfort the losers other than telling them, for us to come from the East African revival, others was to give them that song. Look for that hymn. Yes, he will strengthen you, because this has been an election where people have massively invested money. You know, it's not just the pain of losing, because let's all accept a loss, even if you know you're going to lose, is okay. It hurts, but more so when you've invested a lot of money. The talk that was at Kororo, even His Excellency talked about it, and even said he may sue some people.
Interesting. Honorable Kadaga took to her ex-handle and posted that I deeply thank everyone who, despite massive voter bribery and intimidation, stood by me. The gross abuse of office witnessed throughout this election is truly unacceptable. We cherish our party, but if this oppression persists, we shall be left with no choice but to walk away.
Well, I hope that is not the tweet she has just distanced herself from, saying someone hacked into her account and posted it. At such a time, I've just seen some tweet by Honorable Kadaga trying to clarify. I don't know if she was speaking of that particular one. But of course, this was open. We saw FOASEC members pull out the likes of Captain Mike Mukula, we saw the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Taiwa, talking about why one would invest 2 billion, 5 billion for a SEC position. So this is not just a loss of I participated and lost. It is a pain. So only Jesus can console, can comfort, can heal what you're going through.
Right.
Now, there's also a report that came out, Julie.
Yes.
And this report is not so good. That is a new report reveals rising cases of lung cancer in Uganda. Now, this was a report that was carried out between 2019 and 2025 by the Makerere University Lung Institute. Now, very sad that they sampled about 705 persons, and 311 were suffering from lung cancer, of which 88.6 were in advanced stages, and many of these would not exceed 100 days from the day they were diagnosed.
Oh dear, that's sad.
So lung cancer is on a rise. It is a sad thing, and remember also cancer treatment is very expensive. Though we say it's free in Uganda, but it is also expensive. So we continue to ask the good Lord to have mercy on us, protect us against this. And please, there isn't a single cause that people can look up to and say, this is the cause of cancer. But we know there are risk factors or risk behaviors. I want to speak to the young people of this country, the youth. We don't have a particular cause that science has proven that this. However, we have risky behavior or people who can be vulnerable. Now, there's something we enjoy, you the youth enjoy, and that is smoking shisha. Now, when I go out for journalistic purposes, I usually go to these entertainment places. You find me in a bar. I've not come to drink, I don't drink, but I've come for journalistic purposes. But I see young girls, you know, a person takes a puff and they can even spell their name. You know, they hold something like this, then
A pot, shisha pot.
someone spells the nose you're bringing out, the ears you're bringing out, the mouth you're bringing out. This you're enjoying your youth. But when you don't enjoy responsibly, when you've gotten to the ages where you're battling lung cancer, and it's that cigarette, it is that shisha, there's even this thing called, is it vape?
Yeah,
It's like a small
vaping.
Yeah, it's small, eh?
Yeah.
Very,
Vaping cigarettes.
yeah. You know, you find someone, you go in about almost everyone has it. You know, it feels stylish, it feels good. But at the end of the day, there's that time when you have to have car washes. You know what else they do? Fundraising, car wash. Then you bring us cards here to announce how there is a cancer run to save you. As you're doing those things, think of that day when you come to Julie. We are fundraising for so and so. Yet we are smoking through the ears, through the mouth, through the nose, through every hole on your body.
Right. I hope a word to a wise is always enough. Let's have a look at what we have on the local scene.
Well, we begin with President Yoweri Museveni and the NRM Delegates Conference that was concluded. Now, President Yoweri Museveni has cautioned that he may pursue legal action against individuals accused of bribing voters during the internal NRM party elections. The president warned that the use of money to influence voters risks poisoning the party with corrupt tendencies and unjust practices that must be confronted early. Museveni made the remarks while closing the NRM Delegates Conference, where he also emphasized market expansion as the key driver to Uganda's economic growth. As elections for chairpersons to the ruling party's Central Executive Committee got underway, candidates addressed the delegates. They raised concern about voter bribery and the excessive use of money that they said disadvantages some contestants. From those who withdrew from the race to those who lost outright, the complaints were similar. These issues did not escape the attention of the party chairperson Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. His concerns followed closely on the heels of the suspension of Youth and Entrepreneurship League elections as due to allegations of voter bribery. Museveni described such practices as dangerous behavior capable of breeding division within the party. Meanwhile, measures to address the malpractices are still being crafted. The president underscored peace and development as essential foundations for Uganda's progress. The National Resistance Movement Party Delegates Conference was an expanded event which attracted all political players and those from abroad. The visiting heads of political parties included brotherly friends from South Africa, South Sudan, Kenya, Rwanda, among others. The National Resistance Movement Party, NRM, held a two-day delegates conference at Koro Ceremonial Grounds here in Kampala. The event, presided over by the party chairperson Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, was electing the Central Executive Committee members, and this was attended by a section of dignitaries, including those from abroad. They were invited by the NRM Secretary General, Right Honorable Richard Todong. The visiting political party representatives were impressed by the level of democracy expressed by Uganda's ruling party NRM, and therefore this was an opportunity for them to backmatch and strengthen political relationship. After successfully holding its 2025 National Delegates Conference, NRM is convinced that the pace has been set for the 2026-2030 political game. In Uganda, a new research dissemination event has shed light on how to make social protection more gender responsive and transformative. Speaking at an event, Jacqueline Asimwe, CEO of GRUSOS Africa and chairperson of International Center for Research on Women in Uganda, emphasized that social protection is a constitutional right and a critical agenda for women. Findings show that while many women are aware of government and non-governmental organization programs in health, education, and livelihoods, most assess this information informally through friends and community conversations rather than official government channels. Women reported benefiting from free maternal care, skills training, and food security programs. However, they also raised concerns about corruption, bureaucracy, hidden school charges, and under-resourced health facilities. Participants called for more transparent systems, accountability measures, and sustainable funding to ensure social protection truly supports vulnerable groups. Finally, on the local scene, the Buganda Kingdom has called on its elders to nurture a younger generation that upholds and respects cultural values. Speaking at the installation ceremony of Ashe Chitwandwe as the new Katikkiro of the Ngonge clan, Bataka Obusolya Speaker Augustine Kizito strongly condemned misleading teaching that encourage incest, warning that beyond being culturally offensive, it's also a result in biological unhealthy offsprings. Kitwandwe was officially introduced and entrusted with the full responsibility of his new role. As a vibrant leader, Chitandwe commits to doing his cultural role and promote cultural upbringing within the youth. Chitandwe is also the president of the Rotary Club of Lunguja and at the same time the CEO of Enjazi Company Limited. Omutaka Chitandwe Katikkiro w'ekika ky'Engonge sebo tukuyozaayoza. And with that, we come to the end of our local stories this morning.
Right, thank you very much, Robert. Let's have a look at what we have on the global scene. We're starting off with matters Russia and Ukraine, as well as on the European scene. The head of the European Union's Executive Committee, Ursula von der Leyen, has spoken of her outrage at Russia's deadliest onslaught on Kiev since July, which also damaged the EU's delegation office in the Ukrainian capital. At least 23 people, including 4 children, were killed and dozens more wounded in the bombardment, Ukrainian officials said. A 5-story residential building was destroyed and the EU mission and as well as a nearby British consul were also damaged. In a strongly worded statement, von der Leyen said that the Russian missiles struck in close proximity to the diplomatic mission. 2 missiles hit in a distance of 50 miles of the delegation within 20 seconds. Ukrainian forces said Russia had fired almost 600 drones and more than 30 ballistic and cruise missiles. The biggest attack on the capital this month was recorded as that. Many of those killed were in the 5-story residential building in the southeastern Donetsk district on Kiev's left bank. Now moving on to the states, investigators say that the attacker who opened fire on pupils as they were praying at a church in Minneapolis was obsessed with the idea of killing children. Wow. Robin Westman, who killed 2 children and injured 18 others, did not seem to have any specific motive, according to the Minneapolis police chief, Brian O'Hara. The attacker appeared to hate all of us, he said, and adding that more than anything, the shooter wanted to kill children. The murdered children have been identified by families as Fletcher Markle, who is 8 years old, and Harper Moisky, who is 10 years. Investigators say that the attacker who opened fire on pupils as they were praying at a church in Minneapolis was just merely obsessed with the idea of killing children. Surely, we all need Jesus. That's all I can say. We all need Jesus Christ. Anyways, coming to the continent, 7 migrants deported from the U.S. have arrived in Rwanda, the first of 250 expected to be taken in by the African state under a deal reached with President Donald Trump's administration. The first group of 7 vetted migrants arrived in Rwanda in mid-August. Rwandan government spokesperson Yolande Makolo said she gave no detail about their nationalities, only explaining that 4 of them would remain in Rwanda, with 3 opting to return to their home countries. Rights groups have warned that such deportations could breach international law if people are sent to countries where they risk torture or other abuses. Trump has focused on a sweeping mass deportation scheme to remove undocumented migrants from the U.S. since starting his 2nd term in January. So far, at least a dozen nations have agreed to accept deported migrants from other countries. Well, that brings us to the end of what we have on the global scene. Robert, take us through the dailies.
In the dailies, I begin with a new vision. Now, why securing a sex seat was a do or die? Museveni vows to probe mess. That is a headline in the new vision. And who are NRM's new bigwigs? I see here Salim Uhuru, Honorable Haruna Kasoro, Janada Asimwe taking on West, and many others there. Also Tom Butime. Still on the new vision, who is Kajova, the new SDA Archbishop? That's the Seventh-day Adventist. Now also moving on, Chan government buys 28,000 tickets for fans. Okay.
Interesting.
Still moving on, Kazimba to politicians. People love your money, not you. This is the Archbishop of the Church of Uganda.
There's a point. There's a point. There's a
the
point.
Arsenal supporter, never disappointed. Comes out very clearly. People love your money, not you.
Yeah.
Should we change it?
We should have a song on that. Whoever is a creative.
That someone can also put women. We continue. It's a Friday, some light moments, definitely. Well, I think I don't see the Daily Monitor here. So, Julie, take us through what is in Kenya and Tanzania.
Well, starting off from Tanzania, the Citizen, and the headline there is Samia, my election pledge to Tanzanians. That is the current president of Tanzania, who says CCM kicked off its campaign in Dar es Salaam yesterday, and with its union presidential candidate Samia Suluhu Hassan promising Tanzanians a new chapter of hope within her first 100 days in office if she wins come October 29th. Also still there is from firewood to electricity inside Tanzania's transition to clean cooking energy. And adventure, I visited Tanzania Young Explorers Mission to visit all 54 African nations. And just below there, ADC postpones campaign launch as NRA faces scheduling snag. And 2025 elections mark a historic moment for female leadership. Now, taking a look at what we have in the Daily Nation, Shakahola Season 2. Massacre 200 years ago. Pardon me, 2 years ago, hundreds of bodies were exhumed from Shakahola Forest in Kilifi. And the victims, including children, had starved to death after being brainwashed by a cult. Authorities vowed never again, but now bodies are being unearthed at Kwabinzaro, 30 kilometers from the first scene of the horror. Still below there is NYS intake to rise to 100,000 recruits, get quota in police hiring. Also still in the Daily Nation, Bome governor in trouble as Kericho boss fights for survival. And thousands of ex-teachers secure terminal benefits in UTSC deal. That is in the Daily Nation. And that brings us to the end of what we have in the dailies today. Now, if you are an OB or OG of St. Peter's SS in Zambia, OGs and OBs have a Spinoza League Gala on Sunday, 31st August 2025 at the St. Peter's SS in Zambia Arena, and it's one that you are invited to. So take note of that and be sure to attend that League Gala. For now, let's enjoy some music from Reggie Owishe. We have a lot in store for you, lots of entertainment, interviews, and of course, matters to do with the cognitive process of children. Conversations we are to look forward to. For now, enjoy Reggie Owishe. Good morning. Thank God it's a Friday, TGIF. Now, this week is one that you could call, Robert and I indeed called it a yellow week, because it was a painted yellow, not just on the streets of Kampala, but even in the dailies. And all incumbents of the Central Executive Committee of the NRM were voted out of their positions during the delegates' conference in Kololo Ceremonial Grounds. That was here in Kampala, and the elections were overseen by the party chairperson, President Museveni, in the wee hours of Wednesday, and the incumbents of 6 regional vice chairpersons all lost in the race of the second national vice chairperson female. The Speaker of Parliament beat incumbent Rebecca Alitwala Kadaga, and the national vice chairperson Eastern Show the incumbent Captain Mike Mukula, saw the incumbent Mike Mukula giving up before voting, and that is leaving it for his opponent Kelvin Echodu. And for national vice chairperson Western, Jonard Asimwe beat Minister of ICT Chris Bariomunsi with 4,044 votes, and that is representing 58.1%. And for Kampala, Salim Uhuru beat the incumbent Singh Katongole with 2,862, representing 62.2%. And the Minister for Microfinance, Haruna Kasolo Cheyune, beat the incumbent Godfrey Chiwanda Subi, and Loki John Baptist also won national vice chairperson for Karamoja to replace the dead former chairperson Simon Alepa, who passed away in an accident last year. Now, that is matters politics, but because it's a Friday, let's have a look at what we have on the entertainment scene. And actor Bruce Willis, if you remember, if you have watched movies such as G.I. Joe, Red 2, Live Free or Die Trying, Tears of the Sun, etc., etc., many movies to his name, he was diagnosed with aphasia in the year 2022. This brain disorder sent him to obvious retiring, and in the shortest period of time, about a year thereafter, he was diagnosed with frontotemporal dementia. And in a recent interview this week, his wife Emma Hemming Willis revealed that his brain is failing him and his language is going, and that he's now living in a second home for 24 our dementia care. Sad story there when you see the people, you know, you've grown up watching on the entertainment scene having sometimes an end, but hopefully it's not the case. But welcome to the show. This is Good Morning Uganda, UBC TV, coming to you live from Nile Avenue. My name is Julie Nantaba Musisi. I am with Robert Chirabo Nyonyintano. Good morning, Robert. What have you been looking at? What has excited you this week?
This week has had a lot of excitement.
Right.
And there is a song that was running in my mind. You know, I'm this person who has a strong attachment with Church of Uganda. And in their hymns, there is a song, though I don't know the English version of it. Allow me briefly sing the Luganda version, and I doubt you, because this is more of Church of Uganda. Yesu byonna abimanyi chinsanyusa. Now that is a song I want to give to all the losers.
Oh, wow.
In the NRM elections. Console yourself that yes.
Robert, that is savage.
You know what is unique in this election?
That is savage.
That all the incumbents,
Right.
apart from Ahaj Moses Chibongo and the party chairperson Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, never returned.
That's a statement, though.
Which other way to comfort the losers other than telling them, for us who come from the East African revival, others was would give them that song. Look for that hymn. Yes, He will strengthen you, because this has been an election where people have massively invested money. You know, it's not just the pain of losing, because let's all accept a loss, even if you know you're going to lose, is okay. It hurts, but more so when you've invested a lot of money. The talk that was at Kororo, even His Excellency talked about it, and even said he may sue some people.
Interesting. You know? Honorable Kadaga took to her X handle and posted that I deeply thank everyone who, despite massive voter bribery and intimidation, stood by me. The gross abuse of office witnessed throughout this election is truly unacceptable. We cherish our party, but if this oppression persists, if this oppression persists, we shall be left with no choice but to walk away.
Well, I hope that is not the tweet she has just distanced herself from, saying someone hacked into her account and posted it. At such a time, I've just seen some tweet by Honorable Kadaga trying to clarify. I don't know if she was speaking of that particular one. But of course, this was open. We saw FOASEC members pull out the likes of Captain Mike Mukula. We saw the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Taiwa, talking about why one would invest 2 billion, 5 billion for a SEC position. So this is not just a loss of I participated and lost. It is a pain. So only Jesus can console, can comfort, can heal what you're going through.
Right.
Now, there's also a report that came out, Julie.
Yes.
And this report is not so good. That is a new report reveals rising cases of lung cancer in Uganda. Now, this was a report that was carried out between 2019 and 2025 by the Makerere University Lung Institute. Now, very sad that they sampled about 705 persons, and 311 were suffering from lung cancer, of which 88.6 were in advanced stages. And many of these would not exceed 100 days from the day they were diagnosed.
Oh dear, that's sad.
So lung cancer is on a rise. It is a sad thing. And remember, also cancer treatment is very expensive. Though we say it's free in Uganda, but it is also expensive. So we continue to ask the good Lord to have mercy on us, protect us against this. And please, there isn't a single cause that people can look up to and say, this is the cause of cancer. But we know there are risk factors or risk behaviors. I want to speak to the young people of this country. The youth. We don't have a particular cause that science has proven that this. However, we have risky behavior or people who can be vulnerable now. There's something we enjoy, you the youth enjoy. and that is smoking shisha. Now, when I go out for journalistic purposes, I usually go to these entertainment places. You find me in a bar. I've not come to drink, I don't drink, but I've come for journalistic purposes. But I see young girls, you know, a person takes a puff and they can even spell their name. You know, they hold something like this, then
a pot, shisha pot.
Someone spells the nose, you're bringing out. The ears, you're bringing out. The mouth, you're bringing out. This, you're enjoying your youth. But when you don't enjoy responsibly, when you've gotten to the ages where you're battling lung cancer, and it's that cigarette, it is that shisha. There's even this thing called, is it vape?
Yeah,
it's like a small
vaping.
Yeah, it's small, eh?
Yeah.
Very
vaping cigarettes.
Yeah, you know, you find someone, you go in about almost everyone has it. You know, it feels stylish, it feels good. But at the end of the day, there's that time when you have to have car washes. You know what else do they do? Fundraising, car wash. Then you bring us cards here to announce how there is a cancer run to save you. As you're doing those things, think of that day when you come to jury. We are fundraising for so and so. Yet we are smoking through the ears, through the mouth, through the nose, through every hole on your body.
Right. I hope a word wise is always enough. Let's have a look at what we have on the local scene.
Well, we begin with President Yoweri Museveni and the NRM Delegates Conference that was concluded. Now, President Yoweri Museveni has cautioned that he may pursue legal action against individuals accused of bribing voters during the internal NRM party elections. The president warned that the use of money to influence voters risks poisoning the party with corrupt tendencies and unjust practices that must be confronted early. Museveni made the remarks while closing the NRM Delegates Conference, where he also emphasized market expansion as the key driver to Uganda's economic growth. As elections for chairpersons to the ruling party's Central Executive Committee got underway, candidates addressed the delegates. They raised concern about voter bribery and the excessive use of money that they said disadvantages some contestants. From those who withdrew from the race to those who lost outright, the complaints were similar. These issues did not escape the attention of the party chairperson Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. His concerns followed closely on the heels of the suspension of Youth and Entrepreneurship League elections as due to allegations of voter bribery. Museveni described such practices as dangerous behavior capable of breeding division within the party. Meanwhile, measures to address the malpractices are still being crafted. The president underscored peace and development as essential foundations for Uganda's progress. The National Resistance Movement Party Delegates Conference was an expanded event which attracted all political players and those from abroad. The visiting heads of political parties included brotherly friends.
Because there is enough space there where people can have enough area, parking, lodges enough. And secondly, I started lecturing there, so it gives me an opportunity again to belong to that place.
Now, let me ask you still, your songs, I stand to be corrected, but the few I've seen are all in in a language, West more. Why come to Kampala and not the West?
Because I have been here for it's not my first time to be here. I was in Kampala.
I'm saying, why organize this concert where the music is in Unyankore, if I may say, and you bring it here in Kampala? No one would think maybe you would have a better attendance there where they understand the language better.
I know that here in Kampala we have also a community of Westerners, and the number is big. So it's only that the people who understand or speak Runyankore Richiga are only from Westerners, from West. But here in Kampala, in Buganda region, the Westerners are there. So I hope that not only the Westerners, but even other people will attend. So this is not a concert for only Westerners. Because there are Baganda who understand and speak Runyankore Richiga. Yeah.
Now also, Reverend, what prompted you, what drove your passion into music? Usually you would be pursuing more of theology, understanding more of doctrines, running after souls to reclaim them for Jesus Christ, to be their Lord and Savior. Here you are singing.
Gospel music, it's also one way of preaching the gospel, reaching where our daily word of God cannot reach. People listen to different stations, different channels, whereby, and I hope that it is one way of also outreaching the people through preaching the gospel, and more especially in gospel music.
Okay, you've rightly said that music is a way of preaching the gospel. If we had a concert organized by other musicians, say Cindy, Shiba, would you come and minister and preach the gospel?
That's a very good question, but hectic. As a clergy in Anglican Church of Uganda, I would say if that concert is aiming at maybe soliciting funds for the needy, maybe they want to build a hospital that will benefit the community. As a clergy and as a man of God, if they outline the values of that concert, I think I would sacrifice myself. But if it is for personal gain, then...
But there are souls there.
Yes, they are there.
And in your music, you're preaching the gospel.
But what is the essence of that concert? As I've already stated, if it is specifically for the community, we are building a hospital. We are want to raise funds for someone who is maybe suffering from cancer. As a priest, I think I would respond to that call. Yeah.
Well, very interesting. Of course, that is where you find those that are not converted and are thirsty to receive Jesus. But also the other thing would be, would the environment be conducive for them to receive Jesus Christ? Now, coming back to this concert, what is so special about this concert? Why should I leave my family on Sunday, or why should I bring my family all the way to Nansana for this concert?
This concert is very special for me and for other people, basing on the title of the concert. It is Hona Ninye corporate concert. Hona Ninye literally means, I'm trying to reflect on where God has picked me, where I am, and where He is taking me. So it compels me to come up with that concert. And Hona Ninye, it is a song. It was my second song that I sang, only that I haven't released the video for it. I was trying to look at myself. Am I really the one? So, there are so many people out there. When you look at yourself, where you are, where you're coming from, and when you come to your senses, you say, am I really the one? Am I really in this position? Am I really holding this office? Am I really having all this? Am I really at this level? So I want to invite everyone that if you know that there is something that God has done in your life, this is a time for you to come and be in this concert, attend. It will be an extraordinary concert, a concert that will reflect where God has brought us from, and we thank Him through music. Come and enjoy, and I also invite you that please come and be part of this extraordinary Hona Ninye corporate concert.
Well, Hona Ninye corporate concert, that is in Nansana this Sunday, and that is by Reverend Godwin Akamwesiga. The man I'm with here, and the video you just saw us that ushered us into this. Now, Reverend, has Christ paid it all?
That's a very interesting question. Not really. Yes, partly, but those who will be coming, we have put some little fee for someone to, if you want to enjoy the breeze of gospel music, and more especially seeing a reverend singing, you will pay 50K as a silver pass ticket. There is 10K for children, 20K for the youth, and 1 million a table. That's the price that has been put.
Well, thank you so much, Reverend. I must let you go, but before I let you out of our studios, please let me just have your final word to the viewer and the people, of course, we expect, or you expect, to be at Hona Ninye concert.
I want to appreciate UBC administration for giving me this golden opportunity to come and speak to the Ugandans. And I want to invite you once again to come and support me in this coming up concert that is slated 31st of this month, August, at Avance International University. Come and support gospel music by Reverend Godwin Akamwesiga. I'll be glad to see you.
Well, all the best.
Thank you very much.
God bless you.
Bless you too.
Amen. I'll leave room now for, of course, more entertainment coming your way. It is a Friday, and we're ushering you into the weekend. God bless you.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda. Pick of the day on UBC.
One-on-one with Michael Jordan Lukomwa.
A weekly face-to-face conversation focusing on accountability, inspiration, information, and sensitization of the public from the various sources, such as inspirational profiles.
Having a disability is not inability.
Every Friday, 9 p.m., it's one-on-one with Michael Jordan Lukomwa.
Don't you see anywhere that you would give a credit in the fight against COVID?
My role as the owner of the country is not to, be preoccupied by giving credit to my servant.
We have said that if we are to talk to General Museveni, there must be certain conditions in place.
Is it true that you paid 5 million shillings to MPs that voted for?
Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah, yo, Beidundolo.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000, or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily, or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the rider selection campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda. Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Good morning. Welcome back from that conversation with Reverend and Robert Chirabo Nyonyitono. My name is Julie Nantaba-Musisi. It's Good Morning Uganda, the Friday edition. And this particular moment, we are looking at optimizing cognitive development in children. It's the holiday season. What a timing for parents and teachers and guardians at that to also be a part of this conversation as they learn and learn about and relearn a few things about their children and how better to be better parents, better guardians, and better teachers and stewards of these children at that. And to have this conversation with us is Dr. Semalulu Charles Keck. We've always had him here when it comes to personalities and everything in that line as an expert. And who better indeed to speak into this matter. Good morning, Dr. Charles. Good morning, and always a pleasure having you.
Thank you.
So just for the sake of context, what exactly is cognitive development in children and why is it important?
Okay, when we talk about cognitive development, we are basically referring to the development of the brain to interact and make sense out of a given environment. And it's basically something that's a little bit very, very important and for any human being to survive. Because mental development or cognitive abilities are what are required for each and every person to thrive and survive in a given environment. So it is something that's very, very, very important. I believe that each and every individual should be in a position to understand. So cognitive development starts with a brain development. When we go to cognition, we are referring to the activities of the brain. Now, cognitive development starts with when the baby has just been born. We won't so much go into the biology of the brain, the structure and all that, because it's a little bit technical, but we just talk about some of the basic requirements that any given individual is required to know, most especially if they are looking after an infant. Right. If they are looking after a toddler, it's very much important for us to understand. When the baby has just been born, the brain is playing. We call it tabula rasa. It's a plain paper, like, you know, that white paper that you're having. There's nothing in there recorded, apart from the instincts, the intuition, and those are guided by what you call the thyroid gland.
And just to be clear, but the brain is there, that
Yeah,
matter is there.
Yeah, the biological organ is there.
It's there.
But they don't have any memories.
You're
They've
right.
not recorded anything. Now, recording starts at when the kid have just gotten out of the mother's, you know, womb. So they start feeling, they start touching, they start seeing, they start making sense of that given environment. And they start developing what we call sensory perception. And sensory perception comes from the eyes, because the eyes almost contribute to 80% of what's recorded in the human brain. Smell and all that contributes around 6% of what's recorded in the human brain. Hearing contributes to around 70% of what is, you know, recorded. Then sensing and all that controls around 8% of what's recorded, you know, the human brain. Now, brain development occurs very, very fast between the first 7 years, and that is the most important time. And unfortunately, all this is happening when the kid is very, very unconscious, because they're not conscious yet. Consciousness means that you can replay and interpret what you've recorded. Now, because the kid doesn't have the ability to replay, so they don't have consciousness.
Even at 7 years?
Yes. So their level of consciousness, actually consciousness starts coming in at around 4 and all that, but not that serious consciousness. Why? Because they've not been in position to differentiate between what's real and what's not real. What the brain does is just picking information, until when they, you know, get to a level of making sense for what they've recorded.
If I may ask, there are kids that actually remember things from as far as maybe if they were 4 years, 5 years, and they are past that age, of course, even if they are adults, but they remember a few incidents from those ages. What is their case?
No, everyone remembers. You also remember what you had even on the first day you came on this planet. But why you don't have it? Because you don't think it is important. But if that time comes and you really need it, it will get out of your mind. So whatever we see, whatever we touch, whatever we experience, it doesn't get out of the brain, because the brain is the memory of the past. The brain is not created to help us thrive. It is created to help us to record such that we can thrive in that very environment. So the sensory perception that I've just been talking about, 80% of the information that you record in the brain go through the eyes. That's why sight is a very, very important sense in human development. You understand? So then the touching, the smelling, the tasting, and all that, it's what helps us, the kids, to record everything. Like, why would a kid so much be interested in sight? A kid has to see that this is mom, this is dad. You know, why they develop a sense of taste is that they need to understand that this is mom. So if I want a breast, this is what I need to do. So they need to, you know, even when a kid, even when someone who's not a mother to that kid, if they give them a breast, they will not, you know, somehow take it, because they know they've already mastered and recorded the taste that they get from their moms. Understand? Then they will go into what you call the smell. Now, all these help kids. Now, when it comes to cognitive development would be what we call the expansion of the brain. Now, the brain development is determined by what we call the fontanelle. Fontanelle, in Uganda, we call it akawompo. It's always, you know, in the center of the brain. Now, after taking in all the sensory perception, after all the senses have developed, now kids start making what we call cognition. Cognition is the mental process. Processing and making sense out of what they have recorded. Now, development comes in a way, not only in development, the structure of the brain, but in understanding. Now, naturally, human beings, we are seekers. We only cease seeking when we start being taught. Education is what makes us conditioned. But by nature, human brain is a seeker. We don't stop seeking. Now, when a kid is given an environment where seeking is not prioritized, where, you know, them getting into an adventure and getting involved in stuff is limited, then cognitive development is hampered. I'll give you an example. By the time the kids are around 3 or 4 years, they break everything at home. They start breaking stuff, they break the glasses, they break the cups. You know why? Because the environment has turned out to be a boring center. So they want to explore. I've seen these cups before, I've seen the plates before. So they break them. Why? It is the life inside them that is trying to expose, to get out, to show like, I'm tired of this environment. Now, when the kid breaks a plate, when they break, you know, a cup, a parent quarrels. You understand? Now, when they see that response from you, now they start shrinking. Now you're already affecting them. Now, this is all happening unconsciously. Now, because you're a mature person, come on, the cup was expensive, the plate was expensive. Once it's broken, you're going to react. Now, that's what a kid does. Because they're trying to explore what is real and what's not real, most especially if they've seen it for some time. So that's why kids break stuff a lot. Now, they break stuff a lot, not because they want to, but because that's the life in them. It is trying to expound and become spacious, because that's what life is all about. Life is about expansions and expansions. Once you're dead, you get into, you get into an functioning body.
Now, one would wonder where's the balance between disciplining and having to allow the environment to seek. Because I'm imagining you breaking those cups and plates continuously. I mean, there's a level of discipline that has to be. So where's the balance?
Now, the discipline comes in. Eventually, this kid gets to understand. Eventually, this kid gets to understand. Like, for instance, by the time they are breaking stuff and all that, maybe they are still breastfeeding. You understand? But the time is going to come when this kid understands that when I see this plate, you're going to put their food. Now, the mind that they have that was destructive or explorative initially is going to change. They're like, okay, I used to break this, but now this is my source of food. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
Interesting. I get it. It makes sense, but it also doesn't make sense because I'm thinking. Anyways, at what is the peak age of cognitive development in children, and what are those milestones, critical milestones, that parents should look out for at that stage?
Between 0 and 4 years. Between 0 and 4 years. Why between 0 and 4 years? Because this kid is 100% dependent on the parent, most especially mother. Most especially mother. Come on, you breastfeed them, you clean them in the morning, you put them to bed, you sing for them, they learn language from the mother and all that. So it's very, 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 very important. Now, we need to understand that between the first 4 years, the kid cannot thrive without a mother. That's the problem, that most of the kids that have been adopted and that have been taken up by foster families become so radical when they grow up, because they're taken at 6 weeks, they're given out at 8 weeks. You understand? In societies where, like in the West, kids are just given out around that time. Now, it's very, very important for a parent to understand that the first 4 years are major about mental development. But this mental development is not only in terms of the mind. It's not only in terms of the mind, because the mind refers to what the brain does. All works of the brain are what we refer to as the human mind, or the mind. In other words, this kid is acting in the first 4 years, the brain is developing, but they're acting out of what we call the impulses, the impulses of the thyroid gland. In other words, their reality is not the parent's reality. You understand? The parent has their own reality because of being a grown person. They understand what they want to do. They have values, they have culture, they have norms and customs that they've taken on for some time. But around this time, the kid is not operating out of their mental cognitive ability. They're operating out of their instincts. And it's okay, they just act. They just act. Why? Because thinking comes in actually at around 5 years. Thinking is, this is probably a phone. I've ever seen it, so I've ever seen it before. So I interpret the memory that I have of a phone, and then I'm like, okay, I can use this to call. But between that period of time, a kid is not thinking. Therefore, the most important value that a parent needs to have is patience. To be patient with the little one, because it's very disturbing, it's very tiresome, kids just act. So that's why people say that if you don't have time, you should not even become a parent. Because it requires a lot of attention. Not only attention, but also understanding and patience. Yes, please. That's why women are so much responsible for that, because they naturally have that. Their neural system as well, women, is made to help that kid thrive. It's very, very, very hard for a man. When a man buys a sweet or a bun, they think that's all. But for a woman, it's not. It's just the beginning. So even when you look at the structure, the cognitive structure, the neural structure of the female, of the mother, it supports that. Yes, please.
Wow, 0709602592. We are looking at optimizing the cognitive development in children. And seeing as the holiday season, this is one big reason as to why we should have conversations such as this. 0709602592 is the WhatsApp number that you should engage. Text via text WhatsApp, not calling, yeah, or sending an audio note. It's text WhatsApp so that we are able to engage and for you to be a part of the conversation. Now, let's look at personality traits of a child. How does a child's personality trait influence how the way they learn and how they develop cognitively?
Now, by the time a kid is not yet 18, they don't have a personality.
Okay.
Yeah,
how
because
so?
Personality development so much gets concretized between 16, 17, and 18.
Okay.
Like they did. I'll give an example. However, the experiences that they go through, some of them get into them. Now you start developing something like a pseudo, something like a future kind of personality, but it's not real. I'll give an example. Most of the people that have made it in business and sports, it is between the first 7 years of their life and development. I'll give an example. I'll give you one bad example and one good example. I'll tell you about Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler was a German Führer, or a leader of Germany, between 1936 to 1945. Now, this guy was brought up by a soldier. His father was a soldier. Now, there was a war in Europe. It was called the Franco-Prussian War. I don't know if you did some history, where France was expanding, so they attacked Prussia. Now, Prussia was part of Germany. Now, one of the soldiers that was fighting to protect the independence of Prussia was Hitler's father. Now, when the French took over Prussia, they humiliated all the German soldiers, including Hitler's dad. And Hitler was a kid. He saw each and everything transpiring. Now, he said, when I become a soldier, when I grow up, I'll become a soldier and will avenge. Now, this guy grows up, and at around 14, 15, he decides to join the army with an idea of attacking France, something that he saw when he was around 3, 4. So this guy would write, he was a fine artist, he would draw pictures of becoming a soldier and all that. So this guy eventually becomes a soldier, and he terrorizes France. When World War II starts, he takes over almost 3/4 of France out of revenge. The other example I will tell you is about Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson is brought up by Catherine Jackson, the mother, who was a guitarist, and Joseph Jackson, the father, who was a country musician. Now, there were several kids at home. So the father comes up with a band called the Jackson Fives. All of them were, But Michael Jackson was extremely, extremely so talented, more than all the Jackson 5 members. So some companies like Sony, they get in talks and they tell the father, you know what? All this family is talented, but you have someone who is very special. Now, Michael Jackson comes up. He was robbed of his childhood experiences. Now, he gets involved into so many activities. By the time he was 11, he was already a star. Now, Michael Jackson grows up. Before he died, he made a list of the 3 most hated people in his life. One was George Bush, the American president. The other was the devil. And the third person was his dad. Now, the idea was his dad used to wake him at 5 to go and make practice, to go and rehearse. Because for the father, he was looking at a person, or a kid who was talented, and he wanted him to be a person that would rescue the entire family from the poverty. So after looking at this guy being extra talented more than the rest, he would make him rehearse more than everyone. So this guy is growing up, he's becoming a star, but with a lot of hatred, because he was robbed of his life, his childhood experiences. Now, the experiences that kids pick, they don't get out of them. I'll just give you another example. When you grow up, when you're growing up in the process of growth and development, we all see what our parents have not seen. We all see what our parents have not done right. You can see that daddy messed up here, mom messed up here, and you're like, okay, when I become a parent, I'm going to make this better. But can I tell you something? When you become a parent, you start acting like your dad. Exactly. And the people who know you, and the people who probably had experience with your dad, they'll be like, man, Judy is behaving like the mother. But that is something that you're fighting. Because by the time you start growing up, you can say, okay, that is okay, but something is wrong. I don't want to pick it up. Now, we pick up all the positives and the negatives. And by the nature of the human brain, negative experiences get stuck there more than all. So between 0, 7, 8, 9, we don't have a personality yet. However, the experiences that we go through they shape that personality. It's the process of personality development.
I would ask, though, as we are growing up, especially, I've had conversations, at least with the older folks, that they can tell a child who is maybe jumpy, who's picky, who's all over the place, who's touching this and that, who's talkative, who's going back now to the personality traits that are the four, basically, that's the sanguine, you know. And then there's that child who's calmer, who's, you know, just calm.
Yes.
They're never all over the place while someone is pinching others, talking here and this other child is just calm and collected.
Yes.
And isn't that one of the personality traits that inform how these children develop cognitively, because it's just innate, it's in their nature?
Yes. Maybe we needed to divide the age brackets like that, you know, because when you talk about a child, it's 0 to 18 years, and that's a very big period of time for them to experience. However, these personality traits, okay, maybe what we also needed to understand is that this kid is born, like I've emphasized, the brain is empty. However, this is someone's daughter, this is someone's, you know, son. Meaning that their brain development is going to take place, cognitive development is going to take place. However, they've also picked up traits from their parents. Like, for instance, a kid is born dark, just like the mom or the father, or is born brown, just like the mom or the father. In other words, what you're talking about, there might be some of the traits that they've already picked from their parents.
By gene?
Yes, yes, genetically, because this kid comes up when everything is already formed. But cognitive development is so much shaped by an environment. However, because even the brain is a biological organ, there are so many traits mentally a kid can pick from the parents already. So probably that's what you're talking about, that maybe they can start acting in a ways and all that.
Because you could find a kid who's from the same family, two kids, but one is jumpy and some are also all over the place, and the other is very calm and collected. But it's the same parents.
Definitely.
You know? Let me just engage a couple of the comments coming through so that we are able to engage everyone in the shortest time that we have as possible. Good morning, UBC. I'm Amandi Fred. This program is so interesting and it means a lot to upcoming future parents. Now, one thing I need to understand from the host, when kids grow up, what made other kids to be bright in class and others grow up to be very dull and others average? What's behind the brain to cause this kind of things, or is there a disability in the brain? Or it's just the way you build a kid from 0 to the age of adulthood? What would you speak into that?
Wow, that's too much. It's something that we talked about sometime, IQ. But again, we don't want to, it's very improper or unpopular for someone to say that just because a kid has not performed well in class is weak. No. Academic orientation, academic assessment is one of the measures where we can measure someone's understanding. Just because someone is not academically okay doesn't mean that they are dull. Someone might be talented somewhere else. So academic excellence is a talent.
It's just part of the talent.
It's just part of the talents. There are so many. So you don't have to look at someone just because they are not good academically and all that. I'll give you an example. At my family, academic excellence was required by law. We had a motto at home. My dad used to put up something at home, and the motto was, please remember the status and the potential of our family academically. So you don't come back with 70s.
Wow.
That was the law.
Yes.
Please remember the status and the potential of our family academically. So you don't come back with 70 and you think you will just walk away. You have to come back with 90 and plus. And you're supposed to explain as to why you didn't get 100.
Wow.
So you make a press conference, everyone comes up with their report cards, and you start doing the explanation. Why did you perform like that? We are broke, we never had most of the things, but at least academically, it was a virtue. Our dad thought, he believed that was smart. Therefore, if you are his kid or his kid, you are supposed to be smart. So in our family, that was a virtue, and actually most of us were. However, we're not doing well in some other stuff. However, so maybe to say something about it in line to the question. Now, there are so many factors that define academic excellence. Many. One of them is the environment. But the most important part for a kid is interest. When a kid is interested in something, they will never perform badly. It's the interest. Now, we take kids to school after us expecting too much from them. And probably you wanted to become a lawyer and maybe things didn't come right. So you push your kid in there.
You're forcing your dreams on your child.
Definitely. Thinking that they are going to overturn the results. So there are so many factors. Two, it might be a condition. You might be having a given condition. It might be because of the factors that are happening at home. It might be because maybe the father is quarrelsome. You understand? So there are so many factors. However, when we talk about IQ, there are people, our IQ levels vary. There are people who, I think we talked about it sometime here, we have, IHO has 6 levels. There are people who are highly profoundly gifted. That's the first level. And that is someone with the IHO of around 250. They score almost 250 in terms of IHO. That person is only one person in a group of 10 million people. Now we go to what we call the profoundly gifted people. The profoundly gifted people are not so many. You need to get around like 5 million people to get one profoundly gifted person. Now the gifted people, what we call the gifted people, are people whose level of IQ is between 120 and 150.
Right.
And most of us belong to what we call the average IQ. Average IQ is between, between 100 and 120. And 70% of the entire population on this planet belongs there. So most of us are average. In other words, if you get an average student and you put them in a class and you expect them to operate, to perform just like any other kid, I don't think that's right. So cognitive ability in terms of IQ comes in because of so many factors. But the most important factor in IQ is genetics. You understand? So if you want to have smart kids, probably you need to ask for a report card of your fiancé before you start having kids. Because at the end of the day, you may start so much forcing. I'll give an example. There's a parent that we worked with on some program, and she was very supportive to the daughter. And again, but the daughter was not so much interested in class. She would get 40, 30. So the mama would coach, get so many teachers to coach them at home, and get into all those activities. Right. So one time, after getting a lot of money from her, I also got involved, and I was like, please, can we talk about this child? What's the problem with her? Because so many people are supportive, but she's not so much engaging and performing the way she's supposed to perform. Let's talk about you as an individual, because this is your product. You know, that's a very tough conversation you can have with someone.
Right, yes.
So the mom says, dropped out in senior 2. We're staying around. I'll not mention the place. You might be on here. We were staying around. Dropped out in senior 2 because my mom thought that I would not make it academically, and the fact she was not making it academically. Now, we advised the mother that, please, this is your daughter. Chances are what you have is what you transfer to her. Instead of pushing her into what she cannot do, why don't you look for an alternative where she can thrive earlier in life? Because people who are not cognitively developed, gifted in terms of IQ, there are things that they can thrive in. But just because we don't identify those, and we don't identify them, and maybe we identify them late in life, they somehow start feeling inferior on themselves. And by the way, when an individual starts having that inferiority complex, that I'm not cognitively developed in terms of IQ, they will never thrive anywhere. Because one of the most serious indicators or determinants of success in life is self-esteem. The value, the love, the worthiness that you have on your own self matters a lot. But if you start putting this kid in an environment where they start feeling very, very uncomfortable, it becomes so terrible for them.
Wow, that's a lot of seller to take in. Let me get still into more of your comments. Good morning. A child's cognitive ability can also be affected by language acquisition. Parents force young children between 1 and 3 years to speak language 2 instead of embracing the first language. This affects their cognitive abilities. How true is this?
Now, language development varies. Like, for instance, I learned how to speak when I was around 15 because I was born a stutterer and stammerer. Yeah. So it was serious. Actually, most of the boys at home, we have that problem. We stammer. We got it from our dad. Now, language development has so many dynamics. However, female girls are more proficient naturally when it comes to language development, because women have a lot of words by nature. Because their physical ability does not help them thrive. Actually, I think in 1985, there was a scholar, I think it was called Cicely, is a Canadian scholar, is the one who studied language differences between the men and female. He said that women speak almost 25,000 words a day. Do you want to understand how many words men speak? 7,000.
A day?
A day. On average.
Versus how many?
25,000.
Yeah,
now, that's why men said that women have a lot of lugambo, like they speak too much.
Right.
Now, this language development is very important. A kid learns language development from the mother because they spend most of their time. They say tata, and all that. It's the mother that inculcates that and it supports the kid to develop in terms of language. However, language development also varies in a way that between between 2 and 3 years, a kid may, okay, why do people speak maybe? Why do the kids speak? Kids speak because they have something that they want to express.
Right.
A kid may be in position, might be in a position to have an experience that they want you to have, but because they don't have enough words, they may not understand, they may fail to get that expressed outright. So that's why they cry a lot. Now, crying is also it's a language to the kids. Now, it's upon the parent to say like, okay, my kid is crying a lot. Maybe she's sick. Maybe he's hungry. Maybe something. Maybe there is an insect around. So, and mothers are naturally so much gifted at that. My mother can be like, without any test, can be like, this kid is sick. You understand? So, language development also comes in, but it should come in a way of try to understand what your kid is communicating to you. Now, there are so many ways of how language development can be supported. Right. However, when a kid learns how to express themselves well, that means they are going to learn how to think well. Because you can't speak without thinking. You first think and then speak. That's by nature. Meaning that this kid's cognitive ability is almost a little bit fast. Because most of the kids may have the ability to speak, may not develop the ability to speak if they've not developed and mastered the ability to process information. Because language mastery happens between 7 and 8 years. That's for the boys. Right. For the girls, they can be around 6 and 5. Right. They've already, they can have a serious conversation.
Now that brings me to asking, one of the challenges we face as adults, especially in the places of work, is emotional intelligence. People process things and respond to things differently, but not even just in the places of work, even in their personal lives. The people we relate with, wives, husbands, marriages, people process information before you say something and it's interpreted another way. Yeah. So how best do you think, or would you suggest, emotional intelligence is taught to children as they develop cognitively?
Yeah, cognitive development is not supposed to be taught. Okay. The kid is learning by themselves. Yes. After the moment you start teaching, you are interrupting the natural process. The moment you take, I think this is going to be inappropriate. The moment you take a kid to school, you are hindering their natural progress. A kid is supposed to grow in a natural environment by themselves. Now, because of modernity and because of so many things, we are raising kids in crowds. We call them fences. Now, all these are limiting them. We put them before the screen, and then we give them X5, we give them Xbox. Now, they're interacting with the artificial stuff. There's no life in that. A kid's supposed to be in a natural environment. That's why they crawl. They take in the mud. That's vaccination, because the kid needs to interact with the land, because the food that they eat comes from the soil. So they need to have a taste of the soil. Now, that's how we grow in terms of immunity and all that. So the moment you talk about learning or teaching a kid, you are interrupting the natural process. This kid will learn by themselves. All what you have to do as a parent is to facilitate, support, cultivate, give them space, because the life in them is already intelligent, because life is intelligence. Life knows how to thrive in a given environment. So the role of the parent, is to facilitate that natural experience. This kid will just look at you and be like, Mom is not okay. Without you teaching them, they will know. They will know. So just like a mother can just touch a kid and be like, my kid is not okay. No one teaches that. In other words, how do kids thrive on streets? You've seen people that have grown up on streets and they're okay. So who teaches them on streets? You understand? So when a kid gets into an environment, they learn by themselves. They experience by themselves. So the moment you talk about teaching, then you're interrupting the natural process. However, due to socialization, we need to have specific limits. Yeah, due to socialization, at the end of the day, you don't have to raise a kid who will just jump around when the visitors are around and all that. There are limitations that you should have. But the moment you talk about teaching, you are interrupting the natural progress of kids. These kids know already. I'll give you an example. A kid knows when they're hungry, so they crawl towards the mother. You know what happens after breastfeeding? They walk away. They walk away and start moving somewhere else. Now, this kid is not so much understanding, but they know when I want something, I go to mother. When I want something, I cry. All these are happening instinctual, out of instincts by nature. Yes, please. So nature was so much intelligent that it gave so many ways of how these kids could thrive without us interrupting.
So,
Yes.
so we're ideally spoiling, and very interesting.
Yes.
And now time is really, really our enemy. And I look forward to having, we must continue with this particular topic in this period as children are still at home, so that a lot of questions are answered. Because now I would wonder where the balance is. How do we balance nature and what we have in the world with education, with AI, with lots of things happening. Dr. Charles Semalulu Cake will be coming back. I hope maybe next Friday, because many comments are coming through. And I also have a lot of questions that I haven't been able to ask, but we believe that we shall be learning a lot from him next. He comes to meet us. Just give us your parting shots. And somebody was asking, I think this should be your parting shot. Somebody was asking, do you have a resource center where young or aspiring parents can be talked to or exposed to regarding this wonderful information?
Yeah, we host workshops. I think we've been into all primary and secondary schools in Kampala. We've been to all these schools.
Right.
And we, of course, when you come up with the research, you really have to learn, you know, be where students are, study, talk to the teachers. We've had this conversation for the last 10 years. We've talked to the teachers, we've talked to some parents, we've talked we've talked to the students themselves. But hosting master classes, we host master classes at Landisa Hotel. Every month we host one at Landisa Hotel. Landisa Hotel is in Machinde, that's where our classes always. Yeah, we host at least a master class.
Right.
You talk about
and in
this.
case someone needs to get in touch with you for more of this, how do they reach you?
Yeah, on socials, my socials are Semachaus Cake, Instagram, X, Facebook, it's Semachaus, TikTok, but my number is 0743 227851.
Right.
Yes,
please reach out, because there's a plethora of information that surely comes out of Dr. Semalulu Charles Cake. We'll be having him back, one thing for sure. He's always coming around to teach us more of this thing. Thank you so much for always coming through. It's Good Morning Uganda. And Mbarara University of Science and Technology has today launched a policy and education economic data center to assist the government in compiling evidence-based data for policy formulation using advanced technologies like artificial intelligence, and that is for quick insights. The center will be working closely with the government agencies such as the Uganda Bureau of Statistics, Bank of Uganda, Uganda Investment Authority, and URA. Now, GMU sat with Dr. Benjamin Mosita, Director Policy and Economic Data Center at MUST. Let's have a look.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
This August, East Africa becomes the center of African football. CHAN 2024 is here, and it's bigger than ever. 3 proud nations, Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda, united by football, passion, and power. From the first whistle to the final roar, 35 thrilling matches, live, only on UBC TV and radio stations. Wherever you are in Uganda, from the city to the village, UBC brings CHAN 2024 to your screen and your radio. August 2nd to August 30th. It's football like never before. One tournament, one region, one heartbeat. CHAN 2024, live on UBC. Feel the game, live the glory.
My friend Baka was found to be positive for Mpox at his old age. He needs our prayers. By the way, Timo, did you know that Mpox-related deaths occur among people with underlying conditions like HIV/AIDS, diabetes, malnutrition, and other old age-related illnesses?
Of late, I've not been following Mpox issues. I thought it wasn't that serious. So, are you saying that as long as one has any underlying condition and feels unwell, just run to the hospital?
Yes! You do not have to wait. If you have any of the signs and symptoms like a body rash, a fever, headache, and body weakness, visit your nearest health facility immediately. We do not have to take any chances, my brother.
We need to immediately inform our peers in the club to be careful.
You see, with Mpox, the magic is in getting treatment early. Those who have suffered severe disease, they wasted a lot of time either treating themselves or ignoring the disease.
Save your life. Seek treatment early, only from professional health workers whenever you feel unwell. For more information about Mpox, call the Ministry of Health toll-free line on 0800 1066 or send a free SMS to your report on 8500. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health Uganda with support from UNICEF, WHO, and its partners.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll-free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
Pick of the day on UBC.
One-on-one with Michael Jordan Lukomwao.
A weekly face-to-face conversation focusing on accountability, inspiration, information, and sensitization of the public from the various sources such as inspiration of
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Thank you so much. My name is Benjamin Mseta. I'm a doctor of economics, and I head the Mass Policy Economic Data Center, which we are launching today. And it started way back from the challenges that we have been having in terms of how do we come up with our policies in this country? How can we go to the deeper part? We really recognize the relevance of Uganda Bureau of Statistics. We recognize the relevance of National Planning Authority, Bank of Uganda, and our other agencies of government, which have been very important in coming up with policy decisions. But we ourselves as Mbaye University, we sat down and said, what is our contribution? Mbaye University of Science and Technology has only been known for medicine, engineering, these other science courses. But when it comes to the bit of economics, it has been missing a bit in the what we call in policy decisions. So we said, why can't we come up with a center like the way we are benchmarking from Economic Policy Research Center, MOBS Economic Forum? We believe that the business school here in Mbaye University can add value when it comes to the evidence-based decisions which are taking place in this country. And how are we making it different? We sat down with our team, with Mbaye University management, and decided to look at these 2 key areas. And these are what forms the core, what differentiates us from any other economic center or any other agency of government. We said, let's look at how can we use in the modern era where there's Internet of Things, robotics, artificial intelligence, how are we taking advantage of the advanced technology into helping us to come up with right decisions and in a quicker way? The second part is, how are we able to run what we call the hot topics? The hot topics are these things, when there is an urgency, when there is any economic issue that needs an urgent attention, how can we come in to give our recommendation based on on the evidence-based data? So on the part of artificial intelligence, how are we using artificial intelligence? We are using already published data by these government agencies, and we shall also now correct our own data. We are saying if it is in one system, how can we use artificial intelligence to help us to have quick insights? Because the artificial intelligence we have developed or we have incorporated in our system, this system is a must predict system. It helps us to look at the information that is already available, which has been published by UBOS, by Bank of Uganda, have it in one system, and it helps you to generate what we call the quick insights, what we can term as the policy beliefs. It can help you to do that. It suggests for you, and then you incorporate in these the other understanding of the political environment and others. I want to take this opportunity now to look at. I want to look at artificial intelligence from the perspective of NRM ideology. Under the leadership of President Museveni, we have observed over time he has taught us about the ideology of patriotism. For our system, it is beginning with Ugandan data. Before we come to East African data, before we go to African data, we are beginning with the ideology number one, patriotism. We are beginning with the data from LC1. We analyze it at LC1 level. We come to sub-county, we come to the district, and then to the national level. When it comes to that part, we want to look at if it is in terms of taxes. We want to go, where are these taxes coming from? How can we help these different areas for them? Because we cannot apply every policy. We cannot apply what we call the generic policies on this same country. That's why we saw US what we call the Washington consensus, the aid which the developed economies were bringing here failed to yield the results they were expecting. The same applies to this country. We cannot use the same policy to develop this country. Because if the western part here have 2 seasons, the western part of this country has 2 seasons. Normally the season that begins in February and ends around May, and another season beginning in August and goes up to December. This season is deferred. If you go to the northern part of the country, they have 1 season. So can we use the same policies to develop these areas? The answer is no. For us, we want to say, what is fitable for Guru? What can fit in Amuru? What can fit in Mbarara? What can fit in Kazo or Chiruhura or any other district? The policies has to differ depending on economic activities that flourish in that area. That's why we are saying, if you are giving money if you are, let's say you are using Operation Wealth Creation, which seeds apply in Guru, which seeds apply in western part of the country? These things differ even in every district. So for us, our system is in a position to look at, run this data, depending on where it is coming from, and give us a policy belief, depending on where this information is being collected from. That is one part. The ideology number 2, when you look at patriotism, the Pan-Africanism of NRM, we want to look at this data center to go ahead and now start analyzing data at East African community level. Because what happens in Kenya, in Tanzania, in South Sudan, in Rwanda and DRC affects the operations of this country in terms of revenue generation, and also because our people cross borders. So we are almost the same blood, and we need to know how can we help Rwanda, how can we help South Sudan in order to have the right policies which can favor our local market. That is now the component of patriotism. When you come to the issue of socio-economic transformation, we are asking ourselves as this university or as a data center, how can we come in to help our government when it is coming up with some decisions? Then, of course, democracy, now that goes into the political climate. Of course, we would wish to see how is governance affecting our economy. And it is so shocking that, there is something, you have always heard of corruption in this country. Yes, there is corruption, but another question is, if there is too much corruption as statistics are showing, how come Rwanda, that is less corrupt, receives less investment in terms of foreign direct investment, and Uganda is receiving more investors? Should we say a more corrupt country is attracting more investors? it is another debate. We want to understand what are those factors that are in this place that are not operating in any other East African country that is making our Uganda attract more investors. Because in the year 2024, Uganda received more investors than any other East African member state. So we are asking ourselves, how come, in terms of governance, should we leave out the issue of corruption and concentrate on the political climate, which Mzee has, since 1986, we have enjoyed this peaceful environment. And one of the key drivers of this economy is majorly the political climate. It has been more stable for these years, and this has enabled the economy to flourish under NRM government. And then we go back and ask ourselves, how are we coming in these questions under Musevenomics? When I talk of Musevenomics, I look around 13 points that Mzee looked at, that Mzee has used to develop this economy. Most of them, when you look at privatization, that was reducing government interaction in businesses. You look at liberalization, let the forces of demand and supply determine the exchange rate, determine the prices of goods. How have these things enabled the economy to grow? But now it comes to the component that Mzee looks at is, how do we monetize the economy? How do we ensure that these people who are working for their stomachs, now they are on board, they can work and add value in terms of revenue generation to this economy? As a center, we are saying, how do we look at agriculture that contributes 24.7% on the total GDP? But when it comes to revenue contribution, in terms of the budget, URA was given a target of $32 trillion Uganda shillings last year. And when you look at the agriculture contribution was only 0.8%. How do we make agriculture a formal agriculture, not informal as it is? How do we reduce the number of people who are working for their stomachs to bring them into the money economy, monetization of the economy? But Mzee goes under econometry, under Musevenomics. He asked some key questions. Those questions were, what was the economy before, during the colonial time? How was the economy between the time of 1962 to 1970? How was the economy when Amin came into power? How was the economy during 1980 to 1986? That is Obote too and other leaders who came there. How is the economy? Where is it standing now? And where do you see this economy maybe in the next 50 years? These are the questions Mzee is asking. Those questions require deep analysis and looking at data. Now, when you have a system that can keep this information well, it will enable this economy to go far, because it will be easy. We shall be running our policies, we shall be making our decisions based on available information and accurate one. So the data center, the Economic Policy and Data Center of Mbarara University, is trying to answer those questions Mzee was asking, was trying to answer some of the objectives under the Musevenomics which have not been answered. It is trying to look at NRM ideology. Those 4 ideological principles, they are very important. How are we helping our Uganda first? And how can we go to East African level? How can we look at Africa as a continent? How do we move people for this socio-economic transformation you are hearing of is all about monetization of the economy. How do we handle that? So it is very crucial that we have this system. I know you're going to look at how do we access data if you are collecting primary data. If in any case a lapse, like we want to look at how people, let's say how borders are operating, or if there's any chaos, let's say, for example, in South Sudan, how has it affected the businesses around? So the system helps you to collect data instantly. Within 1 hour, you have data. From that, it helps you to organize it. It processes it. It gives you insights. You just need to give us 5 hours. And we tell you what is taking place in a particular area. So we are using artificial intelligence to answer these questions very fast. Instead of taking long, correct data, for us we look at it, we command it and say, look at the data of this, look at our population structure. How is it affecting the productivity of this country? Do we have a lot of dependency when it comes to this economy? It helps you to have those quick insights and correlations, and it tells you this. We believe this. Looking at this situation, we can easily have these policies in place. The second objective is about hot topics, because that one was the system. Other people have the data, but for us, we are saying.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for always watching UBC TV. It's Good Morning Uganda, the Friday edition. And to tell you what, I'd been telling you about Sissy Winans performing in Uganda, and last night was it. I was at the event, and she was such a blessing. She was such a blessing to Uganda. Now, opening acts for the concert was Proclaim Music, gave us an energetic performance, especially with old church praise. My goodness. And then Anna Makula gave us an amazing performance as well. 3 set performances that she had, but all of them very impacting, especially for her song Amos. And finally, Sissy Winans came on stage with her team, with her band, and performed for, I think, could have been about 2 hours straight, 2 hours straight, from 8 to, or even 1 hour coming to, it ended at around 9 coming to 10 p.m. That's when she finished her performance. But every song was impacting. Every utterance out of her mouth was impacting. And it was a value for money for everyone who attended the concert. FYI, it sold out. People were trying to buy tickets during the day, and nothing could go through. Everyone received the message of sold out, sold out, sold out. There was jam within the ticketing process of purchasing a ticket. But ultimately, it was such an amazing performance, such an amazing concert. It wasn't even a concert. She stood far away from calling it a concert. It was an evening of worship, worshiping with her, and it was beautiful. And for everyone who was meant to be at that concert as by the Lord, I believe that they were blessed. We were all blessed. So thank you very much to the organizers, the usual suspects, New Vision, Power 104.1 FM, all of these amazing partners, Uganda Airlines that were in on this concert, Rock Telecom, that made sure that Sissy Winans got the hospitality, the best time of her stay in Uganda, and that the concert took place and successfully. She will be in Kenya on Saturday, so in case you can travel to Kenya and you missed out, you can go find her in Kenya on Saturday. She will be performing there. That is for her Africa tour. And one thing that stood out for me was the fact that in Africa, she started with Cape Town, went to Zimbabwe, came to Uganda. But in Cape Town and Zimbabwe, she wore black. But I think she was told that Ugandans are happy people. She was in bright colors, pink, and, a throw on a very bright colored attire that she wore, which made a statement for me. And if you go to her Instagram, she was really, really amazed by the hospitality of Ugandans. So Uganda as a people, let's keep it up, because that's what God has given us in our innate nature. And it is ultimately for God and our country, Uganda. With that being said, let's get straight into what we have on the agenda for this moment. We do have an amazing artist. She's the African songbird. Her name is Priscilla Mirembe, and she is here to bless us with her talent. Good morning, Priscilla.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for coming through to UBC.
Thank you for having me.
Right.
I'm excited to be here.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, who is Priscilla Mirembe?
Priscilla Mirembe, I always start with, I'm a child of God.
Right.
And that's the thing that I'm most proud of, because it builds most of the things that concern me. But aside from that, I'm a professional accountant, practicing. I'm also a daughter,
right.
Second born,
Nice.
in a family of 4 girls, alone. I'm a minister. I'm a friendly person. Yeah.
Good to know. Now, as a minister, when you say minister, what do you minister?
Ministry is not only in the church confines.
Yes.
Ministry is our daily work.
Right.
When I wake up in the morning, how am I going to represent Christ everywhere that I go? How will someone feel the love of God through the things that I do? So I'm here for it, to live for God, and do everything that I can for people to feel the love of God.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And in particular, out of the many things, I know it's even in the marketplace, ministry is part of it.
Oh, yeah.
But what's that one thing you've chosen to express yourself in regards to your ministry?
Oh, music is something I love, 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 love.
All right.
Above so many other things, like it's my top thing.
Yes.
And I bless the Lord, for He has blessed me with this talent, and I've grown through it in church. So I want to use it to give him glory.
Amazing. And
Yeah.
how long have you been singing?
I could say all my life.
Right.
But I released my first single in 2023.
Oh, that's about two years
September,
back.
yeah.
Yeah, 2 years back. 2 years back exactly, because September
Yes,
is just Monday.
yes, yes, yeah.
Wow, how's been the journey?
The journey is beautiful. When you're doing things for God, it's all about Him, really.
Right.
So I'm happy for every step
Good morning. Thank God it's a Friday, TGIF. Now, this week is one that you could call, Robert and I indeed called it a yellow week. Because
wandi mufunye noterera nsulo y'obulamu gyendese omukisa omutali kudagagana mazika g'okulukusa buli tayimu si bwe busimu bw'okkuba nga bokkubira babufuula bize nze ne lwe sikubye nabinawo nga lese bye njagala sinze nze ndabirabo ddala sinze ndabirabo. Njagala ebitanimbalimba nze ndi mujja wamwenkana asangibwawo omulungi amusinga erinnya lye lyokka liwonya Yesu amusinga yambula Yesu yamanyera yantegera alaba busiba mulumi wange ono mukwano ngabona bagenze ono magezi gwenina ngechokaka jebasenyumirisa nenenyumirisa mwana yono atandeka kusemba Semba, you know, oh, I chande se kugenda, namataba gansi, navinuji gansi. You know, Anjaga Editon.
Amazing, amazing. You are truly an African songbird.
Thank you.
It's not just saying. It's not just an identifier. I believe it was a revelation to you.
Oh, yeah. It was actually a friend of mine who just started calling me that.
Right.
In school.
Right.
And I think it's coming to life.
It is. It's
yeah.
real. Priscilla Mirembe, therefore, you giving you a beautiful set of worship, praise, rap in there. Anyway, at the end of the day, whatever the genre, it's all praise and worship to the Lord.
Indeed.
What matters is what is the foundation that is birthing, the revelation conceived out of the final product.
Yeah, totally.
Right. Now, I would love to know a little bit about what inspires you into music, your creativity, your creation. I could tell your lyrical content is quite deep. Do you write your own music?
I do. I write most of my music.
Yes.
But the last song I did was written for me by a good friend.
Yes.
She's called Zabuli.
Oh, Zabuli. Yes.
She saw what my life is like, and the Spirit inspired her to write me this song.
Right.
Because all through, like, God has actually put his feathers around me like this from like my childhood to ensure that I walk in the path that he wants me to walk in. And it's purely the grace of God. So she wrote for me that song. I added in to fit my taste. But yeah, she helped me do that.
No,
but
Zabuli
most of my songs are written by
amazing.
me. Yeah.
Zabuli is an amazing woman of God. I look forward to having her one time here.
Oh,
but when you write your music, what place are you? What are you thinking? When you start penning, what's behind?
It depends. It depends. Sometimes I just think about the goodness of God. Or just one word comes to my mind, then a melody comes that way. Then sometimes I have to actually get into the scripture and look for what to add to that. There's a song I wrote, Echisacho. I just listened to a full series of Creflo Dollar on the grace of God. So it opened my eyes to these amazing things. It caused me to love God even more. So I'm like, this grace has to be sung about.
I know, right?
Yeah,
I know, right? That is Priscilla Mirembe. For you, how do we find you?
Priscilla Mirembe. I am on all social media platforms. Most. I'm on Instagram, I'm on X, I'm on Facebook, I'm on YouTube. Please check out these accounts. And
is the music streaming on other online platforms as well?
Yes, sure. Everywhere on Spotify, all the streaming platforms, it's available. So please look for it and stream.
And if someone wants to work with you, how do they get in touch? Still through social media?
Oh yeah, they can DM me on any of my social media platforms. Instagram is most convenient.
Yes.
So yeah, I'll get them.
Priscilla Mirembe, for you, an amazing, amazing worshiper. Where do you worship at?
I worship at Touch the World Church.
Right.
And I'm humbled to be the pastor's daughter.
Oh, you're a PK!
Yeah, Touch the World Church, we're in Entebbe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing.
We're doing the work of God there.
Amazing. Who's your dad?
So my dad is Pastor Mwanda George.
Shout out to you, Musumba.
And today is his anniversary, 27 years.
Oh, wow.
I love you so much. Thank you for raising us to love God and with so much love. I love you, Mr. and Mrs. Mwanda. Happy anniversary.
Ah, lovely, lovely, lovely. Glory to God.
Hallelujah.
Glory to God. It's funny, it's interesting that tomorrow is my anniversary as well.
Oh,
so it's just a day.
Wow. That's beautiful.
I know, right? Priscilla, thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you so much for having me.
We'll look forward to being blessed more and more by you.
Hallelujah.
But above all else, I look forward to seeing the glory of the Lord spread on your life for the rest of the world.
Amen.
Not just Uganda, but for nations.
Amen. I receive.
All right. Now we do have another amazing artist coming through, and we'll be getting to know more about this artist and what she has in store for us. But also do be reminded of the St. Peter's SS Nsambya OB and OG League Gala that is happening on Sunday, and you are invited. It will be at the St. Peter's SS Nsambya Arena. And Spinoza League Gala was organized for all the students who are really encouraged that they should participate. And their organizers have 25 teams with different classes of years, which shall have semi and finals as well at the gala, and the gala will start at 12 p.m. and 5 p.m. So tell a friend, all boys and OGs of St. Peter's SS Nsambya, to be a part of this amazing cause. For now, Good Morning Uganda does continue, so stay tuned.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Topic of the day on UBC.
One-on-one with Michael Jordan Lukomwa.
A weekly face-to-face conversation focusing on accountability, inspiration, information, and sensitization of the public from the various sources such as inspirational profiles.
Having a disability is not inability.
Every Friday 9 p.m. it's one-on-one with Michael Jordan Lukomwa.
Don't you see anywhere that you would give a credit in the fight against COVID?
My role as the owner of the country is not to, be preoccupied by giving credit to my servant.
We have said that if we are to talk to General Museveni, there must be certain conditions in place.
Is it true that you paid 5 million shillings to MPs that voted for?
Was brought to you by...
I'll call you every day, yeah, yo,
You can now get all the chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21 hash and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll-free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
My friend Baka was found to be positive for Mpox at his old age. He needs our prayers. By the way, Timo, did you know that Mpox-related deaths occur among people with underlying conditions like HIV/AIDS, diabetes, malnutrition, and other old age-related illnesses?
Of late, I've not been following Mpox issues. I thought it wasn't that serious. So, are you saying that as long as one has any underlying condition and feels unwell, just run to the hospital?
Yes! You do not have to wait. If you have any of the signs and symptoms like a body rash, a fever, headache, and body weakness, visit your nearest health facility immediately. We do not have to take any chances, my brother.
We need to immediately inform our peers in the club to be careful.
You see, with Mpox, the magic is in getting treatment early. Those who have suffered severe disease, they wasted a lot of time either treating themselves or ignoring the disease.
Save your life. Seek treatment early. Only from professional health workers whenever you feel unwell. For more information about Mpox, call the Ministry of Health toll-free line on 0800 1066 or send a free SMS to your report on 8500. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health Uganda with support from UNICEF, WHO, and its partners.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archived stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story every story and every voice matters.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Quella and that girl from the north, yeah. See on the beat. Kani machoni, keno ya peki okulu. Chicheru te kopanya omenyo tomara, eno na yechono popa vulu. Ento konyoni, wamaki ya mupamono. Chim chim, nen chim dong kubo wa dong kai penyo tama. Ano ayukulu ya karwate, kai penyo tama. Ano aytayat ya karwate. I want it traditional, no. So local, just let me know, Kabino iyokulu, la karakidina, kutacha, abikari itenge, minyotomarana, ichinyakan, yankiken matoye, shotirona, vukeda, kaimara, baby wakeda, show me you love the local way. Yeah, you make my day. La cara achugana, ina la chagana, ina ya achugana, ina ya la chagana, yeah. Tina titi la korokoro, konu teno wat kachakoteo, kera kili uyelo, entuku koni chiru la riwako, bin wachet kanyona jere, uraki jaguma waganyon kedirumba, anyama kwiri pichamo moro, mamana kerufonya kijeyo, kutacha, abikadi tenge, minyotumanana, ichwinya kanya, yankiken matoye, chotirona, Bunkeda, Kaimara, baby, what keda? Show me you love the local way. Yeah, you make my day. La cara hirina, kutacha, abikari tenge, minyotumanana, ichwinya kanya, inkiken madoye, chotirona, bunkeda, Kaimara, baby, what keda? Show me you love the local way. Yeah, you make my day. Ina ya achugana, ina ya la chagana, ina ya achugana, ina ya la chagana. You know I want it, yeah, I want it.
Wow, let me just start off with some of the comments that I have here. Beautiful piece. I don't understand Acholi, but this princess is a vibe. Northern's finest, turning big stones, perfect voice maneuvering. She's got an amazing voice. Well done. Keep it home. Nice vibe. This is just beautiful. I love it, and it's a classic. I'm out of a comment, girl. Just fire. Talent plus beauty equals great work. Masterpiece. Perfect soundtrack for an African romance movie. Well done, my dear. This is so amazing. That girl from the north is representing. Wow, beautiful. You're making people fall in love with your language. It is a kisser, it's a kisser, it's a kisser. And lots of comments, very interesting comments on that particular video that you have watched. The artist is Akisa. It's a brand new one that she is definitely telling us about. She's not new to the studio. We've had, I think she's almost becoming a host of the show. But good morning, Akisa.
Good morning.
Thank you for always coming through.
Thank you.
Right, what have you been up to since we last talked?
Good music.
I can see.
Yes, and performances, yeah.
Right, let's start with the performances.
Yes.
What have you been up to? Where have you performed? What's the experience been like?
Well, I've been performing in shows, though I prefer live performances, but I've been performing back home in shows. And then I think my last performance was at Sofas here in Kampala. It it was live and it was very beautiful. Yeah.
Amazing. And
Thank
at that,
you.
of course, you've been in studio, and as we've seen,
Oh, yes, yes,
the
yes.
product. In studio, let's first focus on studio. What have you
Yes.
been doing aside from this new project that you've just released?
Well, I would just say I've been trying to put this particular song like in line, because you know, as a creative, sometimes you feel you're not good enough.
Yes.
You really want to put out something beautiful. So yeah, it has been stressing me a lot, because I was like, what if my people don't like it? Are you sure they're going to love it? So it kind of stressed me out. And then we were shooting the video. Usually we just release audios before the video, but this time around we had to shoot the video so that it comes out together, audio plus video. So that is what I've been focusing on at the moment. I just wanted something beautiful out.
Right.
Yeah, but now that I've released the music, we're trying to make sure we do enough promotion, interviews to get people to know the song. Yes, and also make my fans who don't understand actually, I would love to explain the meaning of the song to them. You know, music sometimes you feel, but you really need to understand also what it's
Indeed.
all about.
That also leads me to asking about this particular song, Away from Studio. Before we even get to the meaning, take us through the process of when you were starting to pen it down or think about the song itself.
Well, I wrote this song 2 years back. You know, when you write a song and you feel it's still incomplete. So that song, I wrote it 2 years back, and when I wanted to record it for the first time, the producer that I brought the demo to was like, no, no, no. He was like, no, not this song yet. So I kept the song back, and each and every time I would get an opportunity, I would want to work and make the lyrics better and better and better. So when I met Joe here in Kampala, he was like, Akisa, what do you think if Kwela features you? I was like, oh, that's a good idea. And he was like, do you have any songs you've written, or songs that are inside the studio? Then I gave him 2 songs. Both talks about culture, because he kind of loves things to do with culture. So of the 2, he liked this one, Achugana. So it was still incomplete. I needed to add a lot of things into it. So I played both songs, and he was like, no, we are going with Achugana. So when he told me that, I had to sit back and rewrite other things about the song. And I was kind of scared about it, because this is my first song that really has deep traditional lyrics in it. So I had to do a lot of research. I asked my mom, how do you guys call your lover back in the days, blah, blah, all those things. So I had to sit down and play with my pen to rewrite this, and he completely loved it. When I was done, we just went to the studio and we recorded. Kahiri actually played the acoustic in the song, and we went to the studio, he played the acoustic. We felt like we didn't need drums because it just felt complete, but yeah, we had to put some little groove in it, and that's just how the song was birthed.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, what's the meaning of the song? What's the message behind the song?
So in the song, I'm talking about a guy that is not familiar with my culture. Let's put, for instance, let's say I stay in Gulu and he stays in Kampala, right? So he wants to come and meet me in Gulu, let's say in a very, very local area like village. So he tells me, if I want to come and tell you, where can I see you? Then I started explaining to him, back in the days when girls usually on their way to the well, you look for the woman you love, like the guy looks for the woman he loves, and then when he sees the perfect one, he kind of waits for her by the roadside.
Right.
So there you pick her, you go under the mango tree, any tree you feel comfortable, you have a conversation with her. But nowadays, people meet in the bars, clubs, social media, the phones connect us. But if you ask me what I want you to meet me on my way to the well. I want us to stand under that perfect tree you get. So I want you to show me your love the local way, because that's exactly how you make my day. So I was trying to tell him. After saying that, I was like, there's something in our language we call like karakidi. It's like your stuff, like your belongings, the ones that you love most. So when you're by the roadside, like you're waiting for your guy, let's put, for example, you have a beautiful necklace that you love. You remove that and you put it near an anthill. It's like a sign that I've said yes.
Oh.
Yeah. So like back in the days, they would remove, let's say I have something like a head wrapper, a necklace, bangle. I'll leave them near until, let's say I had a conversation with a guy today. So tomorrow is like, it's, in our culture, a girl doesn't say yes straight away to a guy. So you just give him signs and he figures out. So that's exactly what I told him. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna leave this by the anthill to show you my love. And please tell me you're going to walk with me through this journey, and please show me your love the local way, because that's exactly how you make my day. And then I go to the chorus and I say, ina ya achuga na ina la chagana. So achuga is a wild fruit. I understand the Manyankolis have a different meaning to it, like it's very terrible, but in my language, achuga is a wild sweet fruit. It grows like in the forest, and it's seasonal. So it's very, very sweet. Back in the days, you call your lover achugana. So now is like mine. Achuga is the fruit because it's very sweet and you mean your lover is sweet. So you say achugana. Then la chaga chaga, it's a green, but we paste it with wet granules. So it's like a favorite dish also back at home. So I was telling him, because he agreed to meet me by the the well, I was telling him, you are my chugana, you are my la chagana.
Right.
Yeah. So when I go to verse 2, it's like he comes over and I tell him, today should I cook for you la koro koro? Now la koro koro is a traditional food. Or we go and collect some uyuelo. Uyuelo is also a traditional fruit.
Wow.
So or I take you with dance. We have traditional dances like orak. I mentioned that. So I was like, I'm a good girl. I don't eat like junk food.
Yes.
Because my mom taught me and raised me up with a lot of grace.
Wow,
So
I love how detailed and cultural you are in this song. You're telling the story of northern Uganda. You're telling the story of Acholi. You're telling the story from Gulu. It's very detailed. I love that. So officially present this song to the viewers of the national broadcaster and how best we can enjoy it fully to the maximum, to your satisfaction as well as to our satisfaction as the consumers.
Well, I've put everything I got into the song. For an artist, a young artist like me, trust me, music nowadays is just all about picking words that people have already used and they just put it into music. But mine, I really did a lot of research, things that I didn't know about our culture, and I've put in my heart, my mind and soul into this music. I know some fans of mine out there might not understand actually, but trust me, you can feel it with me from what I've explained. It's a very simple, beautiful song, and just feel it. Like I've put everything in it for you to feel this song, and yeah.
All right. On that note, as Good Morning Uganda closes, do enjoy Achugana by Akisa, brand new one released 3 days ago. So it's still one that you have a lot to take the juices out of. Good Morning Uganda, have a lovely weekend.
Quella, and that girl from the north, yeah. See on the beat. Kani machoni, keno ya peki okulu. Chicheru te kopanya omenyo tomara, eno na yechono popa vulu. Ento konyoni, wamaki ya mupamono. Chim chim, nen chim dong kubo wa dong kai penyo tama. Ano ayukulu ya karwate, kai penyo tama. Ano aytayat ya karwate. I want it traditional, no. So local, just let me know, Kabino iyokulu, la karakidina, kutacha, abikari itenge, when you tomarana, ichinakan, yankiken madoye, choteona, keda, kaimara, baby what keda, show me you love the local way, yeah you make my day. Inaya achugana, inaya la chagana, inaya achugana, inaya la chagana, yeah. Tina titi la koro kono tiano what katoko cheo, kera kili uyelo, yanto kukoni chiru la kiwako, bin wache kanyana jere, orake jakuma waganyon kidi rumba, anyak makwiri pichamu moro. Kutacha, I'll be carrying you tenge. When you tomarana, ichinyakan, yankiken matoye. Chotiona, keda, kaimara, baby, what keda? Show me you love the look away. Yeah, you make my day. La cara kidina, kutacha, I'll be carrying you tenge.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda.
At UNOC, we believe in safety.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
Step into a world of excellence, comfort, and pride with Royal Foam Furniture, crafted to perfection right here in Uganda. We bring you state-of-the-art living room furniture and bedding products at affordable prices. Our wide variety of mattresses include orthopedic, pillow top, spring mattresses suitable for institutions like hotels, and many others for home comfort. With every piece telling a story of royal excellence, our products are built with the highest quality materials made to last. Experience royalty with Royal Foam Furniture, proudly made in Uganda, so buy Uganda and build Uganda. Visit our showrooms at Ginger Road, Chambogo Junction, Bukoto Chisasi Road, and on Victoria Mall, Entebbe, on the 1st floor.
When you want to relax your body and refresh your mind, welcome to Hotel La Confidential, Aroa's premier destination for luxury and comfort. The only hotel in Aroa City offering a serene atmosphere, breathtaking scenery. Come and discover our exclusive wellness club with packages that include a fully equipped gym, a rejuvenating sauna, steam bath, and a great sky blue swimming pool. For events, our state-of-art conference halls and versatile event spaces are perfect for hosting shows, wedding receptions, birthdays, and more. Come and enjoy our cinema hall and unisex saloon, all designed to meet your entertainment and grooming needs. Bring your family and let your kids splash around in our beautiful kids water park. We are located on Aroa Pakwachi Highway in the heart of Aroa City. Don't wait. Visit us on www.hotelconfidential.com or call us on 0761 688 181.
Revered as the patrons of the wild, my horn stood tall, announcing my presence among Africa's Big Five. Yet, with all my strength, I struggled to survive. Then Uganda Wildlife Authority gave us something, a safe home at the Ziwa Rhino Sanctuary. And here we begin to thrive again. Today, we are 48 members strong, with 17 cows, ready to take our unique story into the future. This is your lifetime opportunity to name a rhino and with it, find the conservation efforts that keep our story alive. For more information, visit our website www.ugandawildlifeauthority.org.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety, and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
Pick of the day on UBC.
One-on-one with Michael Jordan Lukomwa.
A weekly face-to-face conversation focusing on accountability, inspiration, information, and sensitization of the public from the various sources such as inspirational profiles.
Having disability is not inability.
Every Friday 9 p.m. it's one-on-one with Michael Jordan Lukomwa.
Don't you see anywhere that you would give a credit in the fight against COVID?
My role as the owner of the country is not to, be preoccupied by giving credit to my servant.
We have said that if we are to talk to General Museveni, there must be certain conditions in place.
Is it true that you paid 5 million shillings to MPs that voted for?
Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah, yo, baby, don't know.
You can now get all the chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100*21# and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
This August, East Africa becomes the center of African football. CHAN 2024 is here, and it's bigger than ever. 3 proud nations, Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda, united by football, passion, and power. From the first whistle to the final roar, 35 thrilling matches, live, only on UBC TV and radio stations. Wherever you are in Uganda, from the city to the village, UBC brings CHAN 2024 to your screen and your radio. August 2nd to August 30th, it's football like never before. 1 tournament, 1 region, 1 heartbeat. CHAN 2024, live on UBC. Feel the game, live the glory.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archived stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, every story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Nothing says more about Chinese traditional music than the guqin. Resonate with philosophical significance, the sound of this unique stringed instrument seems to carry with it thoughts of sages past, a sense of someone seeking spiritual homecoming that transcends the music itself. Both Zhou and Chen have been Taoist nuns on Mount Qingcheng for 30 years. They rarely communicate with each other in everyday life, but playing guqin together is an exception. Mount Qingcheng is one of China's sacred Taoist mountains. Today, the two Taoists got together to play a piece of music, a time-honored